Hello everybody, Brian here from quantlabs.net. Today is 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I haven't done a video in a while, but today's May 24th. Let's go over to the screen, go over this big news over the last while. Now, right now we did a video a while back on Tether USDT. Here you can see earlier today, or yesterday, Tether withdraws top $10 billion as regulators raise alarm about stablecoins. We'll get into that in a minute. You can see here that it was 84 billion on May 11th. Now it's down to 73 billion. So people are very worried about this. So regulators, both in Europe and US, are now piecing together under urgency how to regulate these stablecoins. Panic over USD has drawn attention to other stablecoins, Tether in particular. Okay, so there's that big fallback from 84 to 73 billion. Remember there was a May 12th that dipped and depegged 95 cents. That's a big deal. That shouldn't happen, but it did. And, I'm sorry, that was a 95 cent depeg on UST. But there was one for Tether as well. It only dropped a penny, but might not be a big deal. But this goes to show how shaky it is. So because of this depeg, it resulted in UST associated Luna token wiped it out at $40 billion in holders' wealth. This is where it's getting crazy. So I covered that as well. Here's a quote from somebody who created the Tezos blockchain. Whenever there's a failure by a catastrophe in crypto, the fear is always that somebody will misread the situation and overcorrect in a position. That's not helpful for the entire community writ large. Now, I think this is just a weak defense of a weak industry, but we'll get into some of the other views as well. As much as I'm really seeing that don't make sense fail, there's always a tinge of like, are people going to extrapolate from this that everything else is stablecoin is unsound? That's always the big fear. So here's a chart of everything moving down. USDT, Tether again, the biggest one here. Here's the other alternatives. And again, just to remind you, from CNBC, Tether withdrawals top 10 billion as regulators raise alarm about stablecoins. So let's go on to see what is being talked about here. Well, we're going to focus on ECB, Euro Central Bank. This kind of language does not help, but ECB warns that crypto risk could spill into a wider economy. Regulator perimeter as matter of urgency. Again, this is from CoinDesk.com. Now, this is from the ECB in a report. As a form of payment could increase spillover to the wider economy. And this is the ECB wrote in a report on Tuesday, today. They've been turning their heads towards the devastating collapse of the Terra blockchain coin, which put into question the stability of the, and here's the key, algorithmic stablecoin like UST, not backed by anything. And they're not even backed by a fiat currency. Given the speed of crypto development and the increasing risk, it's important to bring crypto assets into the regulatory perimeter and under supervision as a matter of urgency. I somewhat agree with that. Hate to say it, but we've seen you let the kids run around with no adult in the room for adult supervision. You see what happens. European Union is currently putting together legislation to regulate cryptocurrencies like the markets in crypto assets package. ECB officials have highlighted the risks of crypto before. This one, which I'm not a fan of, the bank's president, Christine Lagarde, said recently it has been a threat in the past and still is. Oh, how the world has changed. Next one, we got this one, Crypto Newmedia.press. Headline, Crypto will pose financial stability risk. Now, this is 2 hours ago. Again, this is on the ECB. In Decrypting Financial Stability Risk in Crypto Asset Market Report, observes that unbacked ones like BTC point to a growing threat to financial stability. Don't know what to say there. That one might be a little overreaction, but definitely the stablecoin, I hate saying it, that needs to be regulated to bring back confidence. Downward trajectory for crypto in the market, with prices of crypto assets plummeting since last November. That's, well, we're in May, so that's 7 months ago. Bitcoin has one of its values against the US dollar declined by more than 50%. Now, this could be pre-planned for all I know. It might be a way for the banks, central banks, to try to find ways to devalue crypto because, of course, it's not controlled. It is controlled by miners, but generally it would be somewhat considered decentral, and they can't control it. Crypto market has lost over 1.6 trillion in market capitalization. Bear market, the lessons could you see another leg down, and that's what they're talking about. 21,000 I've seen that for Bitcoin now, even as low as 9,000. Will it go to zero? I doubt it. Massive loss across the sector have not been stemmed by a key trend seen over the last couple of years. Growing interconnectedness and integration of crypto into the financial sector. Upward trajectory in this case relates to institutional investors' increased investments in the space, as well as the integration into services across the financial section. I would say I'm seeing more headlines with those moving into the utility of payment methods with crypto, as opposed to moving into investment into the space. Like right now, not a lot of institutions are wanting to put money into a declining asset class. So the ECB says global regulatory approach is needed and fast, but that's why they're pressuring countries like Argentina to not do what El Salvador by allowing Bitcoin to become part of its legal tender. Again, it threatens their legacy financial way of control. So as a report, cryptocurrencies and their potential to increase financial stability risk, ECB notes, now here's the word, that contagion from crypto's volatility so far remains small. Okay. So with that in mind, that's what I'm saying. Is it worthwhile to trade crypto this week? Again, it's Tuesday, May 24th. So that's what I'm asking. Here's a quote here. Systemic risk in line with the level of interconnection between the financial sector and the crypto asset market, use of leverage and lending activity. Quite possible that is true. Current growth and market integration trends persist. Crypto assets will pose a risk in financial stability, or risk to financial stability, urging regulation to work towards closing gaps and arbitrage possibilities. Well, I know some traders will be affected by that. ECB crypto's global market presents a global issue, and which therefore requires the effort of all regulatory players. Here we go. Attention towards cryptocurrencies is likely to be amplified across the regulatory following this month's dramatic collapse of Terra or Luna and the algorithmic, that's the key, stablecoin UST. And that's it. So there you go. If you want to know more, there is a coin out there you can put money in. It's been increasing, giving returns of 75% in the last 2 weeks. You can use that to build out your own private bank. No one needs to know. Just watch this 2-hour video, put your info in there, you're off to the races. Thanks for watching.